Hi, folks. Stephen here. I'm at the Minneapolis Convention Center in Minneapolis, Minnesota at Twin Cities Con 2024. I'm here with Josh Keaton, who some of you will know has the role of Tyler in the stop-motion animated series Pokémon Concierge. But before we get to that, Josh, how'd you get into show business?
I got into show business as a child. I was a child actor. My parents kind of got me into it when I was probably about 4 years old. So I've been doing this for a very long time. I have three sisters. They were all in the business in some way, shape, or form. And I started out as an on-camera actor, so I did like commercials and in my very early career doing things like just extra work. That kind of transitioned into like guest spots on TV shows and independent films, things like that. And I always auditioned for voiceover, but it wasn't like a focus of my career at the time. Like back then, I had just one agent who would send me out on a bunch of different auditions, and some of those were voiceover, most of them were on camera. And it wasn't until after I did Hercules, when I was probably about 15, that I got a dedicated voiceover agent that sent me out for not just animated stuff, but voiceover commercials and promo jobs, which are the jobs where you're watching TV and it'll say coming up next, or those type of things, like facets of the industry that I'd never even really been privy to. Video games were also starting to have voice acting at the time, and so that was another thing that I started auditioning for. But yeah, it just started out as being a child actor and growing up in the industry, and then transitioning more into voiceover when I started getting a bunch more roles like that.
All right. Well, like I mentioned earlier, your big Pokemon role is Tyler, the surfer dude, in Pokemon Concierge that debuted on Netflix at the end of 2023. How did that come about?
That was just a regular audition, just like everything else. This is actually probably one of the first Pokemon projects I've been able to audition for, because for the longest time, they were non-union jobs, and I'm a member of the union, so I can't do non-union work. This was a union project, and I was able to audition for it, which was great because, you know, I've been aware of Pokemon since the 90s, and like the fact that I'm actually able to audition for one now was exciting to me. I was like, I can actually be a part of this universe. So yeah, just went in and auditioned, and that was that.
All right. Well, it is a stop-motion animation as opposed to hand-drawn or live action or even CGI. Were there any like differences between that and normal voice work or other types of voice work, I should say?
I would say no, because, well, there's going to be two ways to really do a voiceover project. The first way would be the way it is in Western animation, or whenever you're recording something where you're doing it in the original language. When you're doing it in the original language, you record it first, and then they animate to that. So most of the stuff I've done has been originally produced in English. So you go in, you do the voices, and they animate to your voices. When you're dubbing something that's already been done to another language, you do basically have to watch it as you're recording it and match the timing. Before, you used to actually have to match lip flap, and now they're actually able to adjust that a little bit in post-production, so you don't have to match it perfectly, but you do have to match the timing. But there wouldn't really be a difference between dubbing a drawn animation versus a stop-motion animation. Like it's pretty much the same process.
That's interesting to learn. What are some of the other projects you've been working on lately?
You can hear me in the second season of Arcane, which comes out this week. You can also hear me in the upcoming Marvel Rivals game as Iron Man. I am in a show called Hot Wheels Let's Race on Netflix. And, Batman Arkham Shadow, the VR game that just came out. I play a character in that as well.
Neat stuff. Where can folks find you online? Do you have a website, social media, anything like that?
All of my social medias will be linked at joshkeaton.com, so you can get a hold of me there. But for faster, I'm on Twitter as Josh Keaton. I am on TikTok as The Josh Keaton. I am on YouTube as Josh Keaton. And then I'm on Twitch and Instagram as Space Padre.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Josh. This has been Stephen Reich at Twin Cities Con 2024.